Hey up, everybody, I'm Dig Dug, and this is Dig Dug's Treasure Chest. Welcome. This week we will be discussing which Wii U games you can get semi-cheap right now that will probably be going up in value in the future. I recently decided to try and get a whole set of Wii U games. My theory is this: Wii U sold terrible, and right now people are just dumping the games. Like, I bought like 30 games for $3 to $5 each the other day, and there's only like 160 some games in the entire set. So anyway, if you ever want a complete Nintendo game set, this will probably be one of the cheapest systems you'll ever be able to buy. I mean, the Switch is booming right now, so good luck getting a set of Switch games. The Wii, there's so many games. The GameCube, there's not that many games, but there's still 500 to 600. And there are a lot of expensive ones. So that's why my theory is the Wii U games are going to shoot up, because the Switch is awesome, so people are still hyped on Nintendo. There's still lots of collectors out there. They're going to realize how cheap these systems are and these games are pretty soon, and they're going to buy them up. And there's not many of them because it didn't sell at all, because well, to be honest, I didn't even know the Wii U was a system on its own for like the first year. I thought it was something you connected to your Wii, like the Sega 32X and Sega CD and all that shit back in the 90s. I didn't realize it was like a new system, because like the graphics were barely any better, and it was called a Wii U and not, I don't know. Anyway, I came up with like 9 games for various reasons. I think most of them I found for $20 to $40 on eBay. There's other places to buy games, hit up stores. Some of these titles, people aren't going to realize that they're rare right away because they're not titles that you'd normally think. Okay, so I think right now the most expensive game is there's this special edition Hyrule Warriors or whatever that game was from Nintendo Store or something, but it's like $300 to $400. So I'm basically, when I consider games, I'm not really looking at rare special editions that came out in only one city or something. I'm just talking about regular games that you could buy places. First one is Hello Kitty Kruisers. It's like 60 to 90 bucks right now, probably, depending where you look. It didn't sell very well. Only like 100,000 copies or so. Most of these games are only like 100,000 to 300,000 to 400,000 copies. Like, they did not sell well. Especially when you consider there's like Mario games that sell 20 million copies pretty easily. So like 100,000 isn't that many, especially when you consider how many Nintendo fans there are out there. There's one I found called Darksiders. Like, I ordered a lot of these games off eBay recently because I've just decided to start this collection, but a lot of these I haven't played, so I'll just tell you what the titles are. Maybe play a little video with them, but you guys can just decide if you want to pick them up for your collection or not. Darksiders War Mastered Edition. It was released in 2017 and they sold very few copies, so there's not that many of them out there, and it actually looks like a pretty cool game. Like, this is one I'd probably try and play a little bit, because like when you make a collection for a system, you don't try every game. Like, there's some garbage on them, but like this one looks pretty sweet, so I think that in time it's going to sneak up there in price because it wasn't out very long. There's Cabelas Big Game Hunt Pro Hunts. I was looking on eBay at this one, and I think there might be a version that comes with a gun. So that one will probably be worth quite a bit more, because I don't know, why buy a gun every time if you already have one, right? Like, just buy the copy of the game. And usually the box that the gun and everything comes in will be the most valuable part. I know I said I was talking about special editions, but never mind, I lie a lot. So yeah, this game did sell very well. It was around 100,000 copies as well. Late released as well. Also, most of these games are late releases. They came out in 2017, and the Wii U was discontinued in 2017, so they're only on the shelf for under a year. Cars 3, Driven to Win. It came out in June 2017. So that's fairly fresh. I'm not sure when Cars 3 came out. I didn't even know there was a third Cars. I didn't know there was a second Cars. But 6 months on the market maybe. Most of these, like I said, around 100,000 copies, so there's not many of this game out there. It's a Disney game. It's got a pretty popular character, Lightning McQueen, backing it up. So I definitely suggest if you're trying to get a Wii U collection, you pick up most of these games first. Another one I found was Cobblestone. It was actually out for 2 years, but it didn't sell very well as well. And I was finding copies of it for like 18 bucks on eBay right now, so you can probably find like 10 bucks in a store. That's a pretty good deal for the number of copies. Like, it'll shoot up eventually. There's going to be more than 100,000 people on a Wii U set. So these are games to pick up now. Turbo. This game's actually kind of pricey. It's one of the more sought after ones, but it came out in 2013, but I guess it just didn't sell very well or something. It's like a snail racing game. Oh gee, I wonder why that didn't sell, right? One thing I found was it sold better in Europe than America, so apparently Europeans are more into snail racing than we are. I guess French people like escargot, is that the snails we eat? There's Disney Planes Fire and Rescue. Came out in 2014, and years like tell, it sold like shit. I think Planes is a spin-off of Cars. I learned all this just today when I was researching these games. Apparently Disney's really milking the Cars franchise. Yeah, again, didn't sell very well. It's got a big name attached to it kind of with Disney, although lots of these games just, they're probably not good games. They didn't sell well for a reason, right? But like, collectors don't collect things because they're good a lot of times. A lot of this shit we collect because there's very few of them, so we want one. So like, that's the kind of one of the shitty things about rare video games, is usually the rarer the game, the shittier it is because nobody originally wanted it. Like, the nice thing about like one of my favorite games is Ocarina of Time for 64, but thankfully it sold like millions of copies, so it's like a $70 game or a $60 game, or I'm not even sure what it's worth anymore, but at least there's copies out there and you can find them. Like, if I want to just go play Hello Kitty Kruisers a minute, I couldn't just go grab a copy, although I don't feel that that'll ever come up. Another one I found was Just Dance 2018. Like, Wii U was discontinued in 2017, and this is Just Dance 2018, so when did it come out? In October, so it was like 3 months maybe it was for sale, or it might still be for sale, I'm not sure, but it definitely didn't sell very well. And it's a Just Dance, so you might be able to find that in a bargain bin for cheap. Just, I don't know, those games seem to drop in value fast. I think I've seen an NBA game that was really rare on here too. It's probably 2K18 or 17, I'm not sure, but it was pretty low sales. Oh, Mario Sonic at the Olympics, Rio. This is one of the more expensive Wii U games already. It didn't sell well. It came out towards the end of the system. A lot of people just, I don't know, there's like 5 or 6 of these games now. They're all kind of the same, so I just think people don't care, right? Anyway, everyone realized it didn't really sell very well, so now it's a pretty hot game. But it's still relatively cheap compared to like other expensive games on other systems. It's got 2 really popular characters. It's got Nintendo's biggest character. It probably won't be ported because it takes place in the Olympics, which are over, so why would they re-release a 2016 Olympic game? It's probably only going to go up, so let's just pick that up as well. Anyway, those are 9 of the more rare Wii U games that are still affordable. They're all under $100. That's not bad when you consider other games on other systems and how much they are now. Like, I wish I could get a Chrono Trigger for Super NES for under $100. That's true. These are a couple other games that are still relatively cheap that you could probably just go into any store and grab still, or most stores, like used game stores. Tokyo Sessions, Fire Emblem. I tried to play this, it was weird. It was all dubbed in English but Japanese and subtitled. Fire Emblem games, they just go up, man. If you can get a Fire Emblem game for $30, just pick it up, throw it on the shelf if you're a collector. Like, it'll go up and you can trade it for something one day. Or it's Fire Emblem, which is usually sweet, so just probably have it in your collection anyway. Xenoblade Chronicles, these keep shooting up, they're still cheap. Super Luigi U. It sold pretty well, but it was only out for I think a year, or I'm not sure. But like they eventually put it together with Super Mario U, and it was like both on one disc. But just the green one wasn't out that long, so that was kind of cool, and it seems to be shooting up slowly. Bayonetta 2, the Bayonetta 1 disc. Make sure it's got the Bayonetta 1 disc. That was the first release. They eventually released the second one without the first one. It's not as valuable, but this one will probably shoot up to you because like this game's pretty awesome. And Game & Wario, it was one of the first Nintendo releases for the system, but like a lot of people missed it because they didn't have a Wii U yet, and I think they stopped making it. They stopped producing it halfway through or something. Anyway, yeah, there's 9 games and another bonus 5. If you guys have any games that you think are going to go up, please throw them in the comment section, or any games you've been having trouble finding, or if you have any recommendations on where to buy rare games, stuff like that, throw it all in the comments. Let's have a discussion about it. That's what this show's all about, is collecting. I'm Dig Dug. Every Wednesday there should be a new episode. Working on lots right now. Please subscribe, please share, please like, please comment. I appreciate it all. Thank you for your time. Like I said, every Wednesday. I'll see you next week. Thanks. And keep on collecting, everybody.